Hello and welcome, Lynx here. And actually the same recording on the same night as the previous episode, so I did not do any additional workouts. I went running. However, given that this video is on the next day, I definitely will work out the next day. So I hope you did too. And if you didn't do it after the episode is finished. For now, let's check out what's happening within the game. Apparently a few days pass, and I once again return to the gym with Asa. That's right. I said in the last one that there is not much gym happening, so we are going back. This is only my second session at this gym, but I think I have a pretty good idea about what to expect. I should be more relaxed, therefore, than I was during my last visit, but as it transpires, I feel significantly more uncomfortable. I just haven't forgotten my encounter with Ranko as the hostess, at the hostess bar. I'm worried things might be awkward between us thanks to all of that, but...
Hey Sho! And Asa too!
Ranko greets Asa and I cheerfully enough as she always does. She's grinning as per usual and she doesn't look at all awkward. Have I been worrying about nothing? It wouldn't be the first time.
It's good to see you again! I'm glad your first session didn't put you off. I've heard I can be a little too hands-on.
By hands-on she's referring to that time when she groped Asa's behind. That was straightforward of her, yeah. Asa seems to be thinking the same thing I am, because her face flashes and suddenly she looks at the floor.
Oh, it's alright. I don't mind, really. I know you only did that because you had to. You said it was part of the job.
Yeah, I'm still not sold on that. I have more than a few doubts, but Ranko does nothing to dispel them. Instead she grins and says,
That's right. I'm glad you were so quick to catch on, Asa. So, do you think you'll be sticking it out at the gym? Do you think you can cock in?
I'd like to think so. Given I've already paid a first month's membership, it would be a waste of money not to come in otherwise. If I want to quit, I'd better off waiting until membership has expired.
What? Don't tell me you're thinking of throwing in the towel already, Sho. You've only had one session so far.
No, I'm not thinking of quitting. I already said it wouldn't be financially viable right now.
So does it mean you might quit in the future?
Well, sure. Nothing lasts forever. You should know that. Better than anybody.
Oh, Sho, don't be so cold. It's too soon to talk about leaving me, even if you have no immediate plans to do so. You're going to break my heart here. Don't worry, Ranko. I'm not going to quit, even if Shouhei does. I want to work on my health, and I still want to lose some pounds.
Fuck. Wrong button. Sorry. It's right next to... Actually, it's not right next to this one. Okay, right next to this one. Honestly, where does she want to lose those pounds from? Like, where? There is not a single place with excess fat here. Come on, girl. Anyway.
I'm in this for the long haul. I don't like giving up, and well, I feel like I'm in good hands with you. I think I can trust you. Oh, Asa, at least I can trust you. You're such a good girl. Maybe we should elope together and leave Sho on his own, all sad and lonely and loveless. Do you want to embark upon a romantic adventure of still discovery, just the two of us? Hey, elope.
Asa blushes all the way to the tips of her ears, and awkwardly she staggers back.
I appreciate your sentiments, but I don't know if I feel that way about you. I like men, you see, not women. I like you, but I don't think I could love you, not as anything more than a friend. This is all going so fast, I don't know what to say.
Yep, join the club. That's how I felt when Ranko first asked me out too.
Was she asked for us to last this?
She was, yeah, it was overwhelming. Don't get swept away by her follow, she's just kidding around.
You are? Guilty as charged, hehehe. Sorry, Asa, you're such a good pure girl is all. I couldn't help but wanna tease you a little bit. Oh, I see. But you don't want to elope with me. Not for the moment, at least. That'd be way too much to prepare. I do, however, want to help you work on your fitness goals. I still have a whole bunch of techniques to share with you. Do you want to limber up with some stretches first, for? Oh, yeah. That sounds like a good idea. Alrighty then, just follow after me. For starters, I was thinking we could do some squats like this.
Yep. Let's do some squats. Ranko positions herself up on the mat, her legs slightly spread and her hands clenched at the front. Glancing back at us over her shoulder, she says,
Are you watching?
Yes, I'm watching. Please show me what to do.
Alright, observe and copy me. It's not very hard really once you know the basics.
Yeah, but it's a killer workout. It is.
To squat properly, you need to find your center of gravity like this.
Ranko begins to walk us through the process of performing the perfect squat, all the while giving a physical performance of what said perfection should look like. Ranko shifts her legs, bending, her rear sinking up and down as she moves. Ranko might be wearing leggings, but they're very tight, and the stretchy fabric clings to her every single curve. I know I shouldn't be staring, I'd be better served instead if I focus on my own stretches, but there's something hypnotic about Ranko's movements. Ranko's behind looks awfully plush in those leggings of hers. Leggings? Leggings? Really? Leggings of hers. Since I'm standing behind her, I've got an awfully good view of her backside, not to mention the swell of her hips and the curve of her spine. I think she looks even more appealing now, in fact, than she did back in the hostess club when she was dancing. I would agree with that. She might be wearing a low-cut dress back then, but the unintentional lewdness of her gym gear makes it even more enticing. There's something sweetly naive about Ranko's current motions, coupled with her attire, something almost innocent.
Are you enjoying the view show?
Yeah. I say almost innocent because Ranko is keenly aware of her own body, and I've no doubt she knows exactly what sort of impact she's having on me.
If she were genuinely immaculate, she wouldn't be smirking at me from her over her shoulder like that. Really unpredictable. Hurriedly, I turn away embarrassed at my own poor conduct and soon come face to face with...
Oh, it's you.
Tsumiki eyes me with trepidation, her lips pursed into a thin line. She must have arrived at the gym a little after Asai and I. She's forgone the cat ears today, which is probably for the best. I doubt they're all that practical, and is instead attired in her decidedly more sensible workout attire. Even without her cutesy clothes for, she still looks pretty. I guess there's a reason why her kid Karen alter ego is so popular. I feel like I'm seeing her in a brand new light. I think Tsumiki must be aware of this because she pulls a face.
Don't look me at like that, you creep.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was I staring?
You know you are. You're so shameless. Still, I suppose I'd rather you stare at me than Sakizaki. You're ogling her now before I interrupted you. You're so brazen.
Wait. Did you say what I think you just said? I'd rather you stare at me than Sakizaki.
Whoa! Let's go!
You're so brazen. Sure, I'll make sure I only ogle you
Well, I did used to date her.
Fuck. Okay, let's say the first one. Sure, sorry, I'll make sure I only ogle you from now on. Yeah, let's go with this one. We'll see where this goes. Oh my god, I'm gonna get slapped in the face. Oh. Well, I'm very sorry. I'll be sure to ogle you exclusively in the future if that's what you want.
Hey, idiot, baka! It's not like I want to serve you or anything. I'm only saying this for Sakizaki's sake. It must be uncomfortable for her having you gulp at her behind. I know, sir, I certainly wouldn't want to be in her shoes.
But you just said... I'd rather you stare at me.
That's all because I'm trying to look out for Sakizaki. Don't try and put words into my mouth. That's unfair. Oh, what's this? Are you trying to defend my honor, Tsumiki? That's so sweet of you. I know you cared so much. No, I don't. You're reading into it too much. It's like I really care. This idiot.
I guess by this idiot she means me.
Can stare at whoever he wants. It's no skin off my nose.
I guess she was talking about me after all, yeah.
I just wish he wouldn't. It's all. It'll be bad for the reputation of the gym. Women want to keep coming here if they know they're at risk of being stared by this now and then, though. You say that, yet I doubt you'd mind the overall image if show stared at you, Tsumiki. Isn't that what you're after? What? No, you've got it all wrong. I really don't care. Sure you don't. For somebody who's making such a big deal out of not caring, you simply worked up to me. It's all in your imagination. I'm as cool as a cucumber. You sure? You look pretty red to me. That's all in your imagination. Stop picking on me. Gee!
Pouting, Tsumiki retreats to the corner of the gym and crouches on some unoccupied mats.
I'm going to do some warm-up stretches. The rest of you can do what you like. I've stopped caring.
I'm not staring. I'm totally not staring, okay? Oh my god. I'm not staring. I promise I'm not staring.
So saying or scolding, Tsumiki begins to partake in her own series of stretches. I don't know very much about exercising. I'm not a qualified fitness coach. Actually, this is like, wait, this one? Dude, this is a plank. Come on. Yeah, I'm doing something like that as well. Except not on the knees. Right. Yeah, I have like straight legs in and so on the twos. It's tough as heck, by the way, in case you don't know, but yeah. Anyway, I don't know very much about exercising. I'm not a qualified fitness coach unlike Ranko, but these stretches of Tsumiki's look very striking, for want of a better word. I have a rather good view of Tsumiki's behind, and what a behind it is. It's sculpted almost like a statue's. Her cycling shorts, which they are so great. Cycling shorts, let's go. Which cling to her curves, revealing nothing in the way of excess fat. I wonder how she stacks up to the others. I think I prefer Ranko. No, I don't. As number one in my heart. Okay, I think I'm going to convert to Team Tsumiki. I think they are all appealing. Oh boy, is it an important choice? I think it is. You know what? Listen, Ranko is ex-girlfriend, so I would not step into that basically. You don't kind of step into the same water twice, you would say. Something like that, whatever. Also, she broke up with us, so kinda meh. So she's like number 3 from here. Number 4, but we don't have the girl from Prologue. Damn it, I wish she was around. Asa is great. Tsumiki is interesting. You know what? Let's go. I think I'm going to convert to Team Tsumiki. Let's say that. Whatever. Also white hair. You know that's my weakness. When it comes to characters in VN's anime or whatever. Except for... okay, it depends. It depends. It depends on the hairstyle as well. Because that can indicate a certain character. And certain character I really don't like. But let's not get into it. Anyway, after seeing Tsumiki like this, there is no doubt in my mind. I'm a convert to Team Tsumiki. Her figure is utterly perfect. I can't fault it. It might be even more perfect. In fact, than Ranko's. It might be. I mean, to be honest, why wouldn't it be, right? Tsumiki is slightly more slender than Ranko, and her hips aren't quite as pronounced, but she's no less pretty. for it. I would say she's better, but whatever. In fact, I think I might prefer Tsumiki's more delicate appearance. She reminds me a little of a fairy, almost. Of what? At least she would wear she not engage in a series of motions which look so incredibly compromising. Is this a real workout? I can tell. It is. I swear, it feels like Tsumiki is doing this to provoke me, but isn't that an incredibly self-centered way of thinking? Maybe I'm reading into it too much. I can't deny that she looks good. I can't tear my eyes away.
Hey! Hey!
It looks like Tsumiki's noticed my staring because she scolds.
I thought I already told you to stop staring at me. It's making my skin crawl. I'm not a piece of meat for you to go pet.
Oh, right. I'm sorry.
And you say you're not a pervert, seriously?
I'm really not a pervert, fool.
Then why were you staring at me?
Now that's a good question. It's true, I was pondering the curves of Tsumiki's behind, but I can hardly tell her that will only prove her point. I guess I'd best think up an excuse. I don't really care for lying, but I very much doubt Tsumiki would appreciate the unvarnished truth. I don't need to give her any more reasons to insult me.
I guess I was admiring your form, is all. And by that do you mean my butt?
Damn, she sure got my number. I feel like I've been busted, but still I do my best to play things off.
I mean all of you, really. The lines of your body and all your muscles. I don't know what stretch you're performing exactly, but it looks pretty strenuous. I guess I'm impressed you can keep it up for that long. That's why I was watching you. I'm impressed at your stamina and your tenacity too.
Oh, right.
Tsumiki blinks and slowly her face begins to flash.
Is that really it?
That's it.
I wanna say...
It isn't, of course, but that's the best excuse I can come up with right now.
I think my words sound pretty flimsy, but Tsumiki seems to be swallowing my excuse. She serves me for a few moments, still stretching, then says,
Oh, I see. Maybe I was wrong about you. You might be such a massive pervert after all.
That's what Tsumiki says, but her eyes are downcast and her voice sounds oddly gloomy. I might be reading into this too much yet again. Well, I do own a bookstore, perhaps that's to be expected, but now I really have to wonder. I haven't disappointed her here, right? Have I? This seems like a long shot, but maybe despite her acerbic words, she actually wants me to stare at her after all. Hey, Tsumiki. Oh boy. I approached Tsumiki about half an hour later, once I finished on the treadmill. She's sipping from a bottle of water and it looks like she's taking a break herself. Tsumiki's white hair is rumpled from her earlier exertions, and the strap of her vest top is beginning to slide down one of her white, slender shoulders. She looks very pretty disheveled for she is, but... No, I shouldn't stare. Tsumiki got mad at me for doing that last time. I don't want to invite her wrath down upon me for the second time. I don't want to invite her wrath upon me at all, in fact, that's why I'm approaching her. I feel like I ought to apologize.
What's wrong, Kitagawa?
Nothing's wrong, not with me, at least. I was worrying I might have done something to upset you earlier, phone.
Oh, are you concerned about me?
A little, maybe. I'm afraid I might have hurt your feelings somehow or offended you.
Ah, I see.
Tsumiki exhales. She seems to mull things over for a while.
Her brow furrowed before she replies.
No, it's fine. Most people offend me, even though they don't mean to. I'm quite a touchy person.
You can say that again. At least she knows she can be a handful. That's better than her being utterly oblivious, I suppose.
If anything, I'm the one who's probably apologizing for my earlier conduct. I know I'm not acting like an adult should, but I'm under a lot of pressure. As a famous social media star, my fans scrutinize me every day. I receive a lot of comments about my appearance, especially about my wife.
Oh my god. Here is another of the girls telling maybe she's on the way for something, except clearly she's not, but anyway.
I'm hardcore about exercising, and while I'd like to think that's for my sake, sometimes wonder whether I'm not doing this because it's what my fans want.
You probably do that, asshole.
They expect me to look a certain way. I need to meet these expectations of theirs, or they will dump me for younger, prettier idols. I've already been an e-celeb for a while. People already start to lose interest. It's pretty stressful. Maybe that's why I'm so grumpy all the time. I know it's no excuse for being rude, not when I'm in my age.
Wait. How old are you? I know it's rude to ask, but I don't care.
I'm already 34. I need to get it together. You are what?
You're kidding me, right? You're pulling my leg right now. Hey, it's fine. Nobody's perfect. We all have our... Huh? I started Tsumiki, struck dumb, as the full impact of her words finally hits me. It's possible, I suppose, that I could have misheard her, but I'm certain she said just now that she's...
34? That's right. Did you know that? No. I have no idea. I figured you were around my age or even younger. And how old are you exactly, Kitagawa? 25? Only 25, huh?
Tsumiki pulls her face.
Then I'm almost a decade older than you.
I guess so, yeah. This is pretty wild.
Now I wonder. Do you want me to start calling you mommy? No, I'm not gonna say that. Do you want me to start calling you big sister? Do you want me to start you calling senior?
Senpai!
I think we should... I feel like... No. This one, I feel like, if anything, would be to Ranko, right? The first option. Big sister, I don't know to who. Senior. Let's ask this one. I think this one would be kind of maybe working here. Do you want me to start calling you senior?
Senior,
Tsumiki seems to ponder this for a few moments before she eventually replies.
I don't suppose I would mind that, no. In fact, it might be rather enjoyable.
Do you think so?
Yes, I rather like being looked up to. I think I deserve it, given how hard I work. A bit of appreciation certainly wouldn't go amiss.
Okay, maybe I'll start coming to you then whenever I have problems. You're so capable. I'm sure you'll be able to help. I smile. I had no idea you were in your 30s for.
This is quite a surprise. You look a lot younger. Well, I would hope so. I've put a lot of effort into training my body over the years, as I've said, and I always ensure I eat healthily. My smooth skin and clear under eyes don't come naturally. It's the result of a lot of hard work.
So it is kind of, natural. At least you didn't do any, medical procedures to make yourself look good. I'm glad you didn't.
I may not have a traditional job, but I put in a huge amount of hours to appease my fans. Most people don't realize that, of course. They don't know how much I push myself.
Okay, maybe most people don't know, but that's because you make it look effortless. That's a good thing, I think. It means you're good at what you do. You can always talk to me about this. If you ever feel the need, I'd be glad to listen to your problems.
Do you mean that?
Sure, you're a valued customer at my store. That means you get a special treatment.
Special treatment, you say?
Tsumiki's brow furrows.
I didn't know you also dabbed in therapy.
Only for my favorite customers.
I give it away with every 5th purchase. You can have it for free on the house.
Haha, why thank you. That is very kind of you.
Tsumiki's face is still a little flushed, but her reply is accompanied by a small smile. I think my silly jokes must have gone a ways to cheer her up, which in turn cheers me up. I'm not sure why, but I don't like to see Tsumiki so despondent. She has such a nice smile. It's a shame she utilizes it so rarely. Does she have this? No, I thought she was holding something in her hand.
You really are a nice person, Kitagawa. No.
Tsumiki shakes her head.
Shouhei, I know we get off to a bad start, but maybe I misjudged you. You're so kind to me, and so is Dog too. I've grown quite attached.
Tsumiki bites her lip.
This might be a bit too forward, but I was wondering, if you wouldn't mind too terribly, and you've nothing better to do, then maybe we could...
Tsumiki begins, but soon she's cut off by Ranko's cheery tones.
Alright, you two lovebirds, knock it off! Ha! What are you talking about? What do you mean lovebirds? I don't get it. Oh, I don't think to do. I'm not blind, you know. Don't think I'd notice the sparks flying between you two. I think you're projecting.
Tsumiki scolds.
Nothing happened between Shouhei and I. Absolutely nothing.
Ranko's eyes glitter wickedly.
Since when did you start calling Shouhei, huh? You're so formal with me. I think you should keep reading right on calling him Kitagawa. I just thought Kitagawa was a bit of a pain to say is all. And yet you still call me Sakizaki. My family name has the same number of syllables. It rolls off the tongue more easily. Not that I need to make any excuses for my behavior. Like I said, nothing happened. You've been very resistant on that point, yes. A little too much, in fact. Are you sure you're not hiding something? I didn't hear what you and Shou were discussing, but it seemed pretty in-depth. You were spilling your guts to him, weren't you? No, I wasn't. You sure? I'm quite certain. You weren't about to confess? To that idiot? Of course not. I don't like him at all.
Oh, so I'm still an idiot, huh? How cruel.
And heroes begin to wonder, like Ranko, whether Tsumiki was about to confess to me. I guess I know my place. I shouldn't let myself get carried away. I know I'm hardly God's gift to women, but... Tsumiki's face is awfully red. Did she mean to confess to me after all? I'm pretty curious about that, but...
Well, that's all the better for me then. If you weren't about to confess then, I had no reason to feel guilty about interrupting you. Now, why don't you come along, Tsumiki? You still have another half hour of your session left. You don't want to waste it talking to Shou, do you? Talking to Shou isn't a waste. Really, but maybe you're right. The gym is no place for personal conversations. I've been acting in a most unseemly manner. Well, I don't know if I'd go that far, but you're right. If you want to talk to Shou about something serious, you should maybe wait until later. I have a job to do and all. I'm being paid to help you get fit and healthy, so I'd got to do that. Now, do you want to do some more stretches? Sure, that's why I'm here after all. Great!
Ranko beams.
You can help us out, or maybe Asa can help you. I think it'd be nice if you two could work together. But you were what? That's okay with you, isn't it, Shou? You remind me spiriting your lady love away, do you?
Listen, Tsumiki is hardly my lady love, and yes, that's fine. I know you're on the clock, Ranko. Do what you will.
Alright then, let's get going.
Ranko drags Tsumiki along, then steals by Asa, who's busy stretching herself.
Hey Asa, will you help Tsumiki out? She's looking pretty stiff despite all the stretches she did. I think she could use some loosening up. Oh, alright. That sounds fine.
Alright, that is a thing. Even though you don't necessarily need someone to help you. For to be fair, you would go into actually completely vertical position here. Anyway, also here you go, fine. I watch from distance as Tsumiki sinks down upon one of the mats on the floor. At Ranko's behest, Tsumiki then lifts her rear into the air, which also helps to support. Tsumiki's face is badly flushed, despite the distance which has opened up between us. Her brow is furrowed, and I can see her lower lip trembling. She looks distressed, on the brink of tears almost. I can't help but wonder, as I watch Tsumiki stretching, what her problem is. Why does she look so upset? It looked like she was on the cusp of saying something important to me earlier until Ranko destroyed her confidence. Now it feels like we're back to square one again. Will Tsumiki ever feel comfortable enough to tell me what it is she meant to say? Will I ever know? I certainly hope so, but as the minutes tick by, it begins to seem more and more unlikely. Maybe the moment's already passed. Okay, we don't skip the day, let's continue. Time passes, and I soon finish up the day's training session at the gym. I'm left feeling sweaty and fatigued in the wake of my vigorous workout, and I'd like to retreat to the locker room to have a shower, but I find myself hanging back. I'm sure that Tsumiki wanted to ask me something important before Ranko interrupted her. She looked so serious. I feel guilty about absconding without giving her a chance to try and finish what she started. There is no guarantee, of course, that Tsumiki will want to continue where she left off, but I have some hope. If what she wanted to say really mattered, surely she'll give it another attempt. I'll wait for a little while, wiping my brow down with a towel until...
Hey! Shouhei?
Oh, hey Tsumiki, are you alright?
That is debatable. I haven't felt alright in quite some time. I know I'm not acting anything like my usual self, but... Shouhei?
Yes? What is it?
I was wondering, if it isn't too much trouble, would you mind if we had a talk?
Of course, I mean, we are talking right now, aren't we?
I know that, you idiot! We might be talking now, but I'd rather we go somewhere private. I have something important to discuss with you. If that's alright. You don't need to come with me if you don't want to. I know you're probably busy, and I've not done very much to endear myself to you over the last few weeks, but if you have the time, I really would appreciate it.
I'm losing my voice, by the way.
Darn. Tsumiki sounds pretty sincere about this, which is rare coming from her. Sincerity is more Asa's territory. Tsumiki, as far as I can remember, has always been brusque and snappy. Now, however, she's acting like a love-struck schoolgirl. Could really mean to confide in me. Confide in me. That's what this all seems to be leading up to. It would certainly explain the blush, but I don't want to leap to conclusions just yet. I already did, actually. I've no choice, I suppose, but to acquiesce to her demands. That's the only way I'll ever get to the bottom of this. I want to know. I realize what's on Tsumiki's mind. I want to get to understand her better. And if possible, I'd like to cheer her up. That's why, when I do reply, it's in the positive. Sure, I have some time. I have time, plenty of it. In fact, if you want to talk, we can. Where do you want to go?
Oh, Shouhei.
Tsumiki's eyes fill with relief.
Thank you for being so nice to me and so patient too. Let's both get showered and changed, and then we can be on our way. I think I'd like to go somewhere quiet, away from the peanut gallery.
What's a peanut gallery? Tsumiki shoots a suspicious glance over her shoulder at Asa and Ranko.
What I want to say is, for your ears, and your ears only. I do want to speak to you, so...
Tsumiki clears her throat, then stabs a finger in my direction.
You'd best consider yourself lucky. I'm actually doing you a massive favor.
Sure. Whatever you say. I smiled, bemused by Tsumiki's sudden change in demeanor. She's mercurial, alright, and awfully flighty, but I don't think I'd have Tsumiki any other way. I like her just the way she is. Yeah. Oh, what a nice night. Half an hour later. Back to this out. I like her in her gym outfit more. I mean, she's still cute here, but I like her in the gym outfit more. So, this is what you meant by somewhere quiet, huh?
That's right. I come to this place often when I want to relax. Not a lot of people know about it. It's very scenic, especially at night.
Tsumiki looks at me from beneath her eyelashes, her hands resting primly upon her lap. The pair of us are sitting on a wooden bench atop a hill, which overlooks the town. It's pretty dark already, and I can see the lights of the town in the distance, all flickering like fireflies. The lights of the town seem to mingle with the stars scattered across the sky. The whole world looks like it's been illuminated by Christmas lights. It's a cool night, and there's a bit of breeze. I can feel it brushing through my hair and against my skin, so I shiver. Thankfully, it's not cold enough to be uncomfortable. It's a bit biting, sure, but that's nothing I can fix by sliding my hands into my pockets. The chill is enough to detract from the beauty of my surroundings. This place really is pretty. I can't believe I've not been here before. It must be a well-kept secret because Tsumiki and I are the only people here. Other than that, it's totally dead, as quiet, save for the wind, as the grave.
What do you think? I know it's a bit of a trek to get here, but I hope it was worthwhile.
I have to agree with you there. This is a really pretty spot.
I'm glad to hear you say that. I was a bit worried you might find it boring here.
No, it's fine. I don't get bored easily. I work in a bookstore, remember? And reading is one of my favorite hobbies. Literally, people have a pretty high capacity for tedium. I mean, gee, I've read a whole bunch of classics. If all those dry 500 plus page tomes were enough to put me to sleep, nothing is.
Good point. I'm rather fond of reading myself. It's my favorite hobby too.
If you think about it, I'm the same. I mean, not to mention, I read it out loud. The visual novels, I mean, of course. Anyway, I did figure as much. Yeah, given the amount of books you bought from my story in the last week. Your patronage was much appreciated, by the way. I'm glad I've gotten such a reliable customer.
It's no problem. I didn't even buy the last few books I came in to get. You gave them to me for free.
Yeah, well, I guess I want to do something nice.
You won't be getting any more freebies in the future, though. I've already expanded my goodwill.
That's fine. I would expect you to give me more books for free. And expect you to give me all those other books for free there actually. You didn't need to. I could have afforded them easily. Where's you?
You think I can afford a few acts of philanthropy every now and again?
Maybe not. I don't mean to offend you.
Now that'd be the first.
But your store did seem to be somewhat dilapidated.
And this is her attempt not to be offensive. Dilapidated is a pretty damning term.
I doubt you're earning very much. You should make the most of every potential sale you can. Giving away your stock for free, while generous, isn't very smart.
It's fine. I'm not going under just yet.
But you might in the future.
Well, yeah, you're right about that. It's always a possibility, I guess. That's a danger that comes with running your own business, especially when said business is a bookstore. People are interested in reading nowadays.
Most people aren't, maybe, but I am. I'm glad stores like yours exist. Yes. And though I think it was silly of you and really quite unnecessary, I'm glad you gave me those books for free. You might not be a good businessman, but you're very kind, Shouhei.
I glance away from Tsumiki, feeling more than a little awkward in the face of her earnestness, and run a hand through my hair.
Darn, I can feel my face turning red.
Tsumiki was the one blushing up a storm back in the gym, but now it looks like our roles have reversed. I guess I must have felt left out. Now why is my heart beating so hard? What the hell?
I don't know if I like being told point blank I'm at my job, but I guess I can accept the compliment.
Thanks, Tsumiki. I'm glad you think I'm kind.
I do. I think you've been very good to me. Better maybe than I deserve.
Oh? I frown. What makes you say that?
I was
Tsumiki sighs.
very rude to you when we first met. I heard all sorts of unfair, unfounded accusations at you, and I even called you a pervert. I was so aggressive, I wouldn't be surprised if you'd hated me. You'd have every right to, and yet...
Tsumiki's brow furrows.
You've been nothing but nice to me. I don't really understand why. I don't think I deserve it, not when I tried so hard to push you away. It does make sense, but... Shouhei?
Tsumiki looks to me. Her eyes look very wide beneath the moonlight, and her expression is imploring. She's sitting so close to me, I realize with a start that I could lean in to kiss her if I wanted to. I'm turning this possibility over in my mind, Tsumiki's lips look very kissable when...
I know I haven't known you for a very long, but... For some reason now, whenever we're together I find my heart racing. I've never felt this way before about anybody, and it's all a bit confusing. I don't really know what to make of it, or what it really means, but... Shouhei?
Tsumiki?
I...
Tsumiki leans in and closer until her thigh is brushing mine, then says,
I think I really might like you.
A pause descends following Tsumiki's confession. I look at her and she looks back at me. Tsumiki's face is flushed, and it's obvious this confession took a lot out of her, but she doesn't back down. She was finally able to get the words out. I think that the bravery of hers is impressive. It deserves to be answered, but before I do, I want to confirm something. You only think you like me. That means you don't know for certain?
Well, it's all very confusing. Like I said, I might be 44, but I've never dated anybody before. What? Where do you find gems like that? I don't think I ever even had a crush on anybody. I'm very clueless when it comes to romance, and very naive. Everything I do know, I learn from books, but I don't think very accurate. It's hard for me to know how I really feel, but I know that I like you. I like you a lot.
Tsumiki? I exhale my breath, disturbing Tsumiki's bangs. I'm happy to hear her confession, of course, but what guy wouldn't be receiving such sweet words from such an attractive woman? But a few misgivings remain. I'm flattered you feel the same way about me, but are you a famous social media star?
Yes, what of it? Is that a problem?
I mean, it isn't for me, but I worry it might cause issues for you. If you have lots of fans, they might be angry if they found out you're dating somebody else. I don't want you to get in trouble.
Well, you might be right there. But I don't care. Life's short, and I don't want to live it for the sake of my fans. I like you, and I want to keep on liking you, regardless of what they think. I've always wanted to fall in love like one of the heroines from my romance stories. And while I know life is no story, I think I might be able to be happy if I stay with you. Won't you give me a chance, please? Inexperienced who I am, I'll do my best to be a good girlfriend, so please. Can we start dating?
Tsumiki's voice is wavering with emotion, and her face is flushed. She looks so incredibly cute. My heart flutters simply to observe her. I've always thought Tsumiki was pretty, beautiful even, but I tried to keep my distance. In the early days of our so-called relationship, I thought she hated me. I'm a bit surprised. Her feelings have done 180 so quickly, but it's not too much to wrap my head around. I used to date Ranko, after all, and she was incredibly pushy. Compared to her, Tsumiki is being downright demure. I'm not put off by Tsumiki's confession despite it being so very sudden. I feel flattered, in fact, that she trusts me enough to tell me how she feels. And so it is, after only a moment's deliberation, that I make my move. I lean in and then... Dude, cute as hell, that girl.
Huh?
I pulled Tsumiki to me, holding her body against mine in a gentle embrace. Sure. I murmur, my lips pressed against Tsumiki's scalp, my fingers played against her upper back. We can give it a go, if that's what you want. It'd be my honor to date a woman like you.
Oh, an honor.
Tsumiki squeaks, her face on fire.
I think you're lying things on a bit too thickly.
And you weren't. I grin. If you're going to make a big deal about how kind and generous I supposedly am, then I can tell you how talented I think you are, and how determined. I like you a lot, Tsumiki, and if you let me, I'd love to be your boyfriend. I've not been in a relationship in a while, so I'm pretty trusty, but I'd like to see how this pans out. You're so cute, I simply can't resist you.
Show! Oh, show!
Overwhelmed with emotion, Tsumiki clings to me, then buries her head against my chest.
I like you so much. I'm so happy.
Same here. I don't think as I embrace Tsumiki, I know her as well as I know Asa and Ranko, but I don't think that should matter too much. I know at the very least that Tsumiki is a sweetheart, and I know I don't want to lose her. She often appears grumpy, but she's very cute when she smiles, and that's why I want to make her happy. I want to see what sorts of expressions Tsumiki can wear, and I want to enjoy my time with her. I can't think of anything else right now that matters more. Shirley is adorable. She sure is. Alright, let's see the credits. That was short. You know what? I'm glad I went that route. I think Tsumiki is my favorite. I mean, of course, we'll check out other endings as well. Which, right now, let me look at the achievements quickly. 3 achievements left. I think I know what the achievements will be about. Yeah, that's definitely that. So, 1 achievement for 1 girl. 2nd achievement for 2nd girl, 3rd achievement for and multiple ending basically. Oh, that's still quite a few. 1, 2, 4. Nice. Is Tsumiki? I mean, I already told you I have a weakness for white-haired characters in general, right? So, yeah. Tsumiki lands in that basically general category. Overall, though, she's goddamn cute. And dude, imagine actually finding someone who's 34 and has not dated anyone at all. I mean, you basically like strike a jackpot with that. Let's face it, that's a fact. No offense to anyone. But yeah. Anyway. I enjoyed this ending. I enjoyed the story with Tsumiki. But I guess I will talk maybe more when we are finished with the whole game. For now, let's end the episode here. Did you expect... You can tell me, did you expect Tsumiki to be 34? I definitely didn't. I thought she would be like... yeah, just like MC here, like 25 or whatever. Anyway, as I said, let's end it. Consider liking the video if you enjoyed it. That always helps. And subscribe. Listen, every person joining is an awesome thing, and I am glad to have you all here. So come on and join in if you aren't here yet. On a like kind of daily basis. Kind of. Also Twitch, Twitter, Instagram in the description if you're into that stuff at all. And I wish you all a wonderful day. Find your own Tsumiki too. And I'll see you in the next one tomorrow. You probably expect... You probably can predict who we are going after. Yeah, have a good one. Bye bye!